We have more additions to the Kansas City Chiefs roster after the 2025 draft. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we have the UDFA tracker, the undrafted free agents that are now a part of the Kansas City Chiefs roster. Let's tell you who those individuals are. We begin with Mac Dalena, the wide receiver from Fresno State. He had a very good season in 2024 with 64 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Little small, though, 5'9", 180 pounds, 23 years old, out of Fresno, California, a redshirt senior this past year. Also on the list is Brandon George, the linebacker out of Pittsburgh. Let's tell you more about Brandon George. In 2024, he had 80 total tackles with 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. He's out of Reading, Pennsylvania, checks in at 6'3", 246, and took advantage of that COVID year. He was a sixth-year senior this year at Pitt. Also, a punter is on the list, Eddie Czaplicki. I think I'm saying that right, out of USC. And I don't think the Chiefs need a punter by any stretch with Matt Araiza there, but nonetheless, he gets a shot, and he comes to Kansas City after a year where he had 43 punts with an average about 47.8, a long of 62, and he stands at about 6'7", 200 pounds out of Charlotte, North Carolina, a senior. Now, folks, if you're here with us for UDFAs, that means you got to be a real one, and you got to be subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. And I know the draft is over now. We had the big first wave of free agency, but there's plenty more ahead this offseason here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We're going to continue to bring you our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We'll have live shows each and every Tuesday. We'll bring you breaking news, QDM mailbags, and more. Got to be subscribed. If you're not a part of our family here at the Chiefs Report, you need to. You can subscribe for free. It doesn't cost you a thing. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. And we've been doing this sub battle in the lead up to the draft, and we decided to extend it a couple of extra days. And you can see it's pretty tight right now between us and some of our AFC West rival channels. The Raiders Report with a slight lead. Broncos breakdown right there as well. And there we are, just about 30 subs behind the Raiders Report is all. So let's finish strong, subscribe now, and win this sub battle. Prove why we have the best fans in not just the AFC West, but in the entire National Football League. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Up next, we find Jacobe Covington, corner from USC, also making the list. And he comes in with some pretty decent size, 6'1", 3/4", and 207. He accounted for 29 total tackles, did not have an interception, 3 pass breakups last year, a redshirt senior from Chandler, Arizona. Also on the list is Elijhah Badger, a wide receiver from Florida. And let's go over the tail of the tape on him. His numbers, not bad. 39 catches, 806 yards, and 4 touchdowns last year. Not bad size either. It's 6'1", 200 pounds, a 23-year-old redshirt senior out of Sacramento, California. And he was a name that some people thought was going to get drafted. Ultimately, didn't happen. Our own Tom Downey had him as the 225th best player in this draft as the number 26 overall receiver. And he's mostly an outside receiver, but does have some slot experience, solid speed and ability after the catch. He can be inconsistent at times with his route running and separation. Also, Elijah Young, a running back out of Western Kentucky, was added from the UDFA's list as well. And let's go ahead and tell you more about Elijah Young here and go over his statistics and numbers for you. Elijah Young comes from Knoxville, Tennessee, where he was a redshirt senior this past year. A little small at 5'9", 1/4", 197 pounds. And he rushed for 883 yards off of 201 carries, had 3 touchdowns, and a 30-yard long this past season at Western Kentucky with the Hilltoppers. Who is your favorite UDFA the Chiefs signed? I'll give you my favorite coming up later on. Stay tuned for that, but we want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in the comment section, sound off, and let us know. Today's show is sponsored by our friends at Chubby's, and I am wearing this neon shirt right now. It's super lightweight, it's comfortable, and I'm getting to support the Kansas City Chiefs at the same time, too. I love this shirt. You can get one, too. Fellas, April is here, but this ain't the time for fooling. It's the time to let those thighs breathe, whether you're playing a round of golf with the fellas, hitting up a beer garden, or visiting an actual garden. Chubby's has you covered for all the good vibes that warm weather brings. Bright polos that demand attention, check. Killer shorts that show off those beautiful thighs, double check. Hitting up the pool or the beach, their classic line swim collection has your new favorite trunk for those sunny days. For everything non-water related, their original shorts provide that classic look with a fresh vibe and a modern fit. And for a mix of laid-back style and performance, you got to try their Everywhere shorts. That's every, W-E-A-R, everywhere. Get it? These rascals are a clever little bunch. At the end of the day, your wardrobe deserves a springtime upgrade. So to sweeten the deal, for a limited time, Chubby's is offering our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. And come on, this wouldn't be a true ad read if we didn't mention Chubby's classic line swim collection. Without hyperbole, the absolute top of the men's swimwear game. Whether you're squeezing out as many days as possible before winter or swimming laps at the pool, our extra vibrant trunks built with a quick-drying four-way stretch fabric are the best damn swim trunks humankind has ever created. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby's. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Check out Chubby's today. You'll be glad you did. Also on this list is Zach Zebrowski, a quarterback from Central Missouri. And this is going to excite some people because I know we got people related to UCM that may be watching. Maybe we have some people in the Warrensburg area that are seeing today's show. He was awesome there at the D2 level playing for UCM. And you look at his statistics this past season, 40 total touchdowns, 4,724 yards, really good completion percentage of 67.3% through 12 interceptions. Checks in at 6'1", 210, a native of Woodbury, Minnesota, a redshirt senior this past year. Excited to see him get the chance right here locally with the Chiefs. Also on this list is Jake Briningstool, the tight end out of Clemson. Let's tell you more about him. Production was really good. 49 catches, 530 yards, 7 touchdowns. Big guy, 6'5", 241 out of Brentwood, Tennessee, 22 years old, a senior. And this was somebody that many expected to be drafted, as he was a top 200 player, according to our rankings by Tom Downey, in the number 11 tight end in this year's draft. A tough player with a knack for finding soft spots in zone coverage, will fight as a blocker, but his thin frame and tall pad level show up a bit too much. There's room to improve in contested catch spots as well. We now turn our attention to Qualan Jones, running back from Stephen F. Austin, also on this list. Let's tell you more about him. Last year, he rushed for 779 yards off of 147 carries, ran for 8 total touchdowns with a long of 52. A little bit small in the height department at 5'9" 3/4", but he's a heavy back at 223, a native of Cedar Hill, Texas, a redshirt senior this past year. Also on the list is Southern Arkansas cornerback Melvin Smith Jr. Let's tell you more about Melvin Smith Jr. And he had a lot of interceptions, 5 to be exact, in 2024, with 11 pass breakups, 38 total tackles, with a height of about 5'10 and a half, 190. Comes from Louisiana, 23 years old, a redshirt senior. Another name that I really like on this list is Dalton Cooper, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State. And this was a guy that was very dependable for the Cowboys over the last few seasons. A sixth-year senior, took advantage of that COVID year. He's an Oklahoma native, so he's staying within the area out of Prague, Oklahoma. And his PFF grade, solid 73.2, did not allow a single sack in 9 games played. And he's a big guy, 6'5 and a half, 326, 24 years old. Good signing there for Kansas City. Also on this list is Kevin Knowles II, a safety out of Florida State. Let's tell you more about him. He's a little small, 5'9", 189, out of Hollywood, Florida, a senior. His production didn't create any turnovers, no interceptions, 32 tackles, and 4 pass breakups there for Kevin Knowles II. More to come here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report in just a moment. But before we do, folks, we had an incredible week here on the channel. We were live on Thursday and Friday. We brought you videos breaking down each and every pick throughout the weekend. If you watched all of our draft coverage this week, and I know my guy Tony Fuentes did, type real one in the comments section if you were a part of the action all weekend long. And if you missed out, no need to fear. The videos are still here, folks. When you're done watching this video, go head over to our channel and watch our NFL draft grades video as we give a grade on every single pick that Brett Veach made and break down those players in depth. That, along with the rest of our draft coverage, is all in the same place, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. To subscribe now for free. That's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. Also on the list is Coziah Izzard, the defensive tackle from Penn State. Let's tell you more about Izzard. Last season, 31 total tackles, 7 TFLs, and 2 sacks. He is a native of Columbia, Maryland, a redshirt senior, and he checks in at 6'2", 5/8", and weighs just under 300 pounds at 298. Glendon Miller, safety from Maryland, also another UDFA signing by the Kansas City Chiefs, and he had a very good year at Maryland with 3 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, and 39 total tackles. He checks in at 6'2", 7/8", 207. Not bad size there from Orange Park, Florida, a redshirt senior. Now, this is one of my 2 favorites. The next 2 we saved the best for last. Esa Pole, offensive tackle from Washington State. There was a belief with this guy that he was going to be picked maybe even as early as day 2, and he slips all the way out of the draft. He took a lot of visits, some top 30 visits with several teams across the NFL, but he ends up going as a UDFA to Kansas City here. He's out of Hayward, California, 23 years old, 6'5", 1/4, and 323. His PFF grade, not great, 69.7, but he did not allow a single sack either in 13 games played. His scouting report with Washington State, a bit raw, a development player who fared much better as a zone blocker. Basketball background shows up in his movement skills, which is pretty cool to be talking about with an offensive lineman. Technique has improved, but still could use some work. He'll be one to watch. The last one, this is my personal favorite, is Will Brooks, safety from Tennessee, a former walk-on who earned his way into being one of the impact players on the Tennessee Volunteers defense this past season. And he was, you talk about really good, folks. He was just that. 4 total interceptions with 9 pass breakups and 59 total tackles. 6', 7/8", 203 pounds. The redshirt senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. A very good football player and a good find for Kansas City. So let's go over the full list of UDFAs. They include Mac Dalena, the wide receiver from Fresno State, Brandon George, linebacker from Pittsburgh, Eddie Czaplicki, the punter from USC, another guy from USC, Jacobe Covington at the corner position. You also have Elijhah Badger, wide receiver from Florida, Elijah Young, running back from Western Kentucky, Zebrowski, the quarterback from Central Missouri, Jake Briningstool, the tight end from Clemson. We also have Qualan Jones, running back from Stephen F. Austin, Melvin Smith Jr., corner from Southern Arkansas, Dalton Cooper, offensive tackle from Oklahoma State, Kevin Knowles II, safety from Florida State. Also on the list is Coziah Izzard, the defensive tackle from Penn State. Glendon Miller, safety from Maryland. Esa Pole, offensive tackle from Washington State. And Will Brooks, safety from Tennessee. So how would you grade the Chiefs UDFAs, A, B, C, D, or F? What do you think of the job Brett Veach did to find these UDFAs? Let us know. For continuing coverage throughout the entire offseason, subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for free. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.